Salutations, fellow gamers. It is I, Vocaloid Sensation Hatsune Miku, and I am here to learn you how to become immortal. Alright, so I should specify that immortal does not mean invincible. So if you are a normal person and you are stabbed by Pac-Man, you will die, but if you are an immortal super person and you are stabbed by Pac-Man, you will still die. So that kind of sucks. Now, the way we accomplish this is through a little thing called gene editing, which is basically looking at the human DNA and going like,
I can make this work.
the core facet of the theory today is how we can use the genes of 3 animals to make the human genome. See aging, or at least the withering attributed to age. Resist most if not all forms of disease. Just be like 150% more awesome. This last point is actually supported by actual real science. Don't believe me? In this essay I get to talk about some pretty rad sea creatures now, so there are 3 animals that will be the focus of today's discussion. This one, and this. The first one is called
Turritopsis darni.
It doesn't have an English name, just a Latin one, because it is a special baby asexual organism and likes to feel important. Its gimmick is that, when faced with unfavorable situations such as predators, hot water, social interaction, or losing at poker, the jellyfish, which shall henceforth be addressed as Baby Bean Boy because I said so. Anyway, the jellyfish can revert its life cycle back to the immature polyp stage, which is a fancy way of saying it can turn into a baby, kind of like a frog turning back into a tadpole whenever it wants. Theoretically, if left alone in good conditions, this Baby Bean Boy can be a Baby Bean Boy forever. An eternal lifespan, hence the nickname Immortal Jellyfish. Scientists have no idea how this works right now, but are investigating the genes that might be responsible. So therefore the Baby Bean Boy is like a tiny baby fruit for us to pick, once we figure out how the heck the clippers work. The second animal is called the Hydra. Not the giant monster Hydra, not the secret evil organization Hydra, just small underwater broccoli. He is a good fellow, a soft lad. Hydra's special friendship power trademark is that he does not age ever. More specifically, there's this thing called senescence. Not the band that sang the meme song. Not the funny skeleton man either. Senescence is the reason why your grandma is wrinkly and you are not as wrinkly. It is the withering that comes with getting older. Instead of gradually deteriorating over time, Hydra stem cells can refresh themselves infinitely. Like mashing the reload page icon in Google Chrome. The science men say that this is because of a particular set of genes called FOXO genes, which help regulate how long cells will live for. Everything has them, but Hydra has better ones. It has way too hecking many of them, so it doesn't age. In short, Hydra has a bright future as a supermodel. Or a body spray or something. I don't know. The third and final animal is called... Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Are you pregnant? You should not be pregnant. The third and final animal is called... Lobsters. Lobsters are like the bronze medalists of immortal animals since they can still die. They're just really bad at it. They have an infinite supply of this enzyme called telomerase. Normally, during the process of DNA copying and cell division, the protective end caps on chromosomes called telomeres get shorter and shorter, and when they are too short, a cell enters senescence and can no longer keep dividing. This basically keeps us from being too cool and stuff. Lobsters have no such limitation to their power, since they have an infinite supply of telomerase, which works to keep regenerating telomeres. This basically means they can stay young, not to mention at maximum reproductive power, ad infinitum. So in other words, Sebastian's been hiding the good shit. The core of the belief is that, through gene editing, a process which will be explained shortly, humans can isolate the best traits of these 3 animals and inherit them for ourselves. Kind of like annexing a country. Gene splicing is one of those things that sounds more complicated than it is. Imagine that you have 2 spools of thread, one red and one blue. You want to make a quilt with both colors zigzag across each other, so you pick one red thread and one blue thread, and use both to make a blanket. This core principle can easily be applied to gene editing. See also tree grafting, cyborgs, and Garfield. This has nothing to do with Garfield, I just like Garfield and wanted to mention him. The benefits of this idea cannot be understated. For one thing, old Grandma Mabel no longer has to worry about not being able to give her grandkids socks for Christmas due to being dead. With the power of gene editing, Grandma Mabel can become a freakish genetic chimera that never ages and never dies. So she can be an wrinkly old potato until the end of time, and better yet, no one can judge her for it. Long live Grandma Mabel, the Eternal One. In addition, through the lobster man's ability to evade diseases like taxes, we can give cancer the ultimate middle finger. Speaking in the future tense, since obviously cancer is still a serious problem in our day and age. Once we are all immortal vampire people with bodies immune to illness and malady, why bother to cure anything when we can just laugh at it as our immune system purges it weak and unadapted cells from our perfect bodies? It can no longer harm us. It is a joke. A punchline. Hi, Vocaloid sensation Hatsune Miku. Pose to you this question. Taking everything into perspective, is that not the ultimate catharsis? Wow, that got a little too real for a second there. Allow me to lighten the mood with some shitty overused meme references. How many layers of curing cancer are you on? Like, maybe 5 or 6 right now, my dude. You are like a little baby. Watch this. CRISPR. No discussion of genetic modification is complete without mentioning CRISPR, perhaps the most famous example of the craft in the world of today. In a nutshell, CRISPR is a special technique that allows scientists to make precision edits to any DNA. The potential for this technology is almost as huge as the emotional risk I'm taking showing this project to all of you. So the potential is really hecking big. If scientists have the accuracy to replace the right faulty genes, it might be possible to cure genetic disorders as serious as cystic fibrosis or as common as color blindness. Also, gene editing is not perfect, so you might turn into a lobster man. So those are some of the reasons why gene editing is the best thing ever. Now let's talk about why gene editing is the worst thing ever. There is a reason why human immortality is touted as the forbidden fruit of medical science. There are so many problems it could cause, least of which is overpopulation. Who needs the California raisin man when we have our own gosh darn DNA? Speaking of capitalism, no doubt this will create a miracle pill effect. The immortality pill, let's call it a pill, will obviously be locked behind a large price wall. Only the rich and influential will be able to afford it. Religious movements will likely also be opposed to the idea of artificial immortality. To their credit, playing God is rarely wise, and this is just about the closest thing to playing God that we can get. Furthermore, if life is infinite, what's the hecking point? I don't mean to get all existential with you all for the second time this presentation, but the reason life is cool is because it's fleeting. Limited. Extending the warranty sort of invalidates all of that. If we have thousands of years to live our lives, there's no longer an incentive to go out and live it to the fullest. No time limit means no motivation. No motivation means no fun. It also enables the heck out of procrastinators. It's okay, I'll do that tax return next decade. Also, gene editing is not perfect, so you might turn into a lobster man.
This is the worst possible result.
So now you understand how human immortality works. You're welcome. Please don't fail me for this, I'm so sorry.